The year is 2015. Two friends, Jonas and David, are attending a university in the Netherlands. One day, they decide to create a YouTube channel, just as a side project. Little do they know that in less than a decade's time, they would have hired a team of over 30 people and built one of the fastest growing YouTube channels in the history of the internet. And along the way, they unknowingly created one of the most genius YouTube blueprints that anyone can follow to become successful on the platform. But how did they do it? This is the story of how the most genius YouTube channel was created by two university friends, or as we know them now, Fern and Hoog. If you don't know who Fern is, it's a YouTube channel which makes armchair documentary videos, and in the space of around a year, has managed to grow their channel to almost 2.5 million subscribers. But this isn't Fern's only achievement. The owners also have two other channels, Simplicissimus and Hoog. These three channels are extremely successful, but how did they do it? Well, before starting Fern, Jonas and David had already discovered the most genius YouTube blueprint, which I will be explaining in this video. The plan was incredibly simple. It has only 4 steps and made it so that there was a 0% chance that the channel failed. The first step starts with the first video. Until Fern posted one genius video, which we'll get onto later, their first video which they ever uploaded on the channel remained as their most popular for just under a year, with it now sitting at around 6 million views. And it wasn't by accident. Jonas and David perfectly crafted this video so that it would blow up their channel in a matter of days. For starters, you wouldn't know that this is their first video, as instead of introducing their channel, they uploaded as if they had been uploading for years. There's 3 main features of this video, which I'm about to tell you, that instantly made it go viral. And the best part is that anyone can apply these to their own videos to achieve the same success which Fern did. The first was the idea. Before this video was uploaded, there was little to no videos about the story, and considering that it was about a pilot hijacking a plane, it served for the perfect video idea that would immediately interest anyone who came across it. This idea was so great, as it had high demand but very little supply. This means that although the audience might not have known it, they were craving for a video which was about an intense, confusing and intriguing story. But no channels were making one, meaning that when Fern posted the video, they managed to hit a very popular gap in the market. But just because you have a good idea doesn't mean that it will be a good video. You still need to execute the title and the thumbnail to a good standard to get people to click, which is exactly what Fern did. The title and thumbnail perfectly match each other. The title, How a Pilot Hijacked a Plane, is shocking in itself, as we all know planes to be something we trust. And the thumbnail just adds to the shock of the title, as it depicts a man, obviously panicked, trying to kick down the door. This is a masterclass in creating a thumbnail, because you look at that video and just want an answer. And it's not every day that you see a pilot hijack a plane, so you have no choice but to click on the video, which is where the third feature is executed. You may see so many videos on YouTube which are incredibly fast and immediately getting into the action. For example, the average MrBeast intro is 8 seconds, but the introduction to this video by Fern was 2 minutes long. This is because the title and the thumbnail have already created a question so strong that the viewers are willing to go through a lot more to find out what the answer is. So the first 2 minutes of this video acts as a way of giving context to whoever's watching. Throughout this intro, the viewer learns more about the plane crash, but doesn't get the payoff which they want. Why did this happen? This allows Fern to slowly tempt the viewer into wanting the answer, without the viewer losing interest at all. In fact, Fern doesn't begin to give the viewer an answer until 5 minutes and 44 seconds into the video, by which point, realistically, you aren't going to click off. And whilst it's all good being able to create one viral video, how do you apply this to the rest of your videos and eventually get to the point where you're able to generate unfathomable amounts of money? Well, this is where Fern implemented a structure to make them get insanely high retention graphs with every upload without them even needing to think about it. What's even better is that this entire structure can be boiled down to just 3 words. The first is context. Every Fern video which you watch, always, without a doubt, will start with giving you the context, the title, and thumbnail. As we saw with their first upload, this allows them to make intros which span a lot longer than what you'll see in a MrBeast video, as instead of needing to show you a spectacle, Fern relies on the fact that you'll want to know more about the story or the why of the story, which they show you that they'll get onto later. Sometimes Fern includes a montage of quick fire clips to show you snippets of what's to come in the video, some of which provoking you to ask questions about the story which you thought you knew about. The perfect example of this is during their video The Hunt for Ted Bundy, where multiple scenes are shown where someone is doing something intense or intriguing, such as jumping off a balcony. But Fern isn't the only channel that does this. MrBeast even does the same, as seen in this video.
I'm gonna show you the difference between this and a $300 million mega yacht, a $50 million giga yacht, all the way down to this $1 yacht.
And now that Fern has hooked you, they can then move on to the explanation. This is the bulk of a Fern video. It involves them taking you, as the viewer, through the story which the video's about, in an informative and enjoyable way. This is the easiest part of making a video. To ensure that your attention is kept, they include cool animations and impressive VFX. But for the most part, they don't have to worry about you clicking off, as all that you're focused on is the third part of the structure. The why. This part comes at the end stage of every Fern video, and it involves them answering the question which the viewer has been asking this entire time. Why did this happen, or why did the person do this? Again, Fern doesn't need to include any fancy tricks to keep your attention, because you've been waiting for this stage of the video for at least 15 minutes by now. But what happens now? Because whilst your audience can enjoy watching these perfectly crafted videos again and again, you need to grow at some point. And this is where Fern executed the third stage of their blueprint, which is trendjacking. Trendjacking is the process of capitalizing on an already extremely popular subject. Probably one of the most famous examples of trendjacking is MrBeast and Squid Games. Around this time, Squid Games was the most popular show across the internet, so MrBeast saw this and capitalized on the already popular show and made his own, resulting in 680 million views. And the main reason as to why trendjacking works so well is because the topic already has an extremely large audience. Imagine it as a pool of people. If you make a video on the topic, you essentially are just dipping your hand into the pool and funneling a handful of people over to your channel so that they can watch your video. But why am I telling you about this? Well, Fern's most popular video is titled Mapping the Trump Shooting, which is a video about the attempted assassination of Donald Trump and was released 3 days after the event took place. This means that within 3 days, Fern had thought of the video idea, scripted, animated, edited, made a title and thumbnail, and posted the video. The quality and the speed that the video was made in made it the perfect combination to make the video go viral, as people were already looking for answers and wanted to know the exact events that unfolded that led to Donald Trump being shot. The video now sits at 16 million views. Now, granted, these videos are able to make Fern a lot of money, but the fourth stage of the blueprint allows them a better way to multiply the amount of money which they make, sometimes even as much as 5 times the amount which they're able to achieve through YouTube ad revenue, and that is through sponsors and partners. Every stage of this blueprint so far has been about making the best YouTube video possible, and once you've mastered that, you have also mastered the ability of attracting attention, not just from viewers, but also from brands. And as you probably know, the best way to capitalize from this is through sponsorships. Essentially, every single video by Fern is sponsored in one way or another, possibly a one-off sponsorship or a partner which is with the channel throughout most videos. This is one of the most reliable avenues to go down when expanding your operations outside of YouTube. There's no way to explicitly say how much Fern are making from sponsorships in comparison to YouTube ad revenue, but personally, I would guess the number is in the tens of thousands. And who knows, maybe the next channel who follows this blueprint might just become the next Fern.